How's it? Today is March 7th. It's Saturday. Ordinarily, I would have lifted on Friday, so you can see it says Friday there. But I felt terrible yesterday. So I basically took a day off and then I pushed everything to today. Um, Normally Fridays just gonna be deadlifts with a bunch of other leg accessories. And so I did those today, and Steve actually threw in some bench presses to keep there on Saturday. I basically did 5x5 on both sumo deadlifts and bench press. Um, I have no idea how to sumo deadlift. These don't feel bad. They like when I'm doing them, they feel pretty easy, pretty good. But when I'm watching these videos, they look terrible. And um, yeah, I don't know. I'm not too proud of them, but for the sake of tracking progression, it's very important for me to upload these videos. So last week I worked up to a set of five at 275, and so this week I was gonna do 5 sets of five at that same weight of 275. Um, Steve wanted me to kind of use more of my legs for the sumo deadlift. So I think he wants me to actually put my feet a little bit more narrow and then point my toes forward, so that when I pull, I'm a little bit more uh, there's a little bit more carryover from this to weightlifting movements. A lot of the movements, a lot of the first reps for a lot of these sets are just really bad, and then I kind of fix it halfway through. Again, the weight's not very heavy. It's just a strange movement to me. Um, yeah. A little bit else about this was I've been coughing a lot and all this stuff, so like getting back into the gym was a little, I don't want to say scary, but with the coronavirus scares going around, a lot of people have been wanting to make sure that I'm not like dying. And I called the health center yesterday, and they basically said that everything that I explained to them doesn't qualify for the coronavirus, so or at least the testing for it, because I only have one symptom, which would be the coughing, and I didn't actually come in contact with anybody who has a confirmed coronavirus or somebody who's traveled outside of the country. So, yeah. I'm talking a little bit more about my health right now because I'm not sure what I'm actually looking for in these deadlifts because technique is all over the place. Um, I guess from the bottom, I'm trying to keep my back a little bit straighter so that I can pull kind of more with my legs. And I know that pulling with my legs isn't really correct because that's like my legs will push, but you kind of get the idea. Here's my last set. Here's the one I sent to Steve. Um, I think my first rep was the best first rep consistency wise out of all of them, but like you can see kind of laxities here and there that just kind of, I don't know. It was not very heavy again, like I said. Yeah, and then from there I went into some bench presses. The dudes across on the other side must have done two total sets in the time I took to do my whole bench press workout. I don't know what they were doing, but they were talking story and they were on their phones and all this crap, and I was getting irritated. Um, I tried to keep my heels on the ground today because that's technically how the bench is supposed to be executed. So I did 205 for 5 sets of 5 today, which is not anything special, but I didn't use my belt and I didn't have any wrist wraps. And I didn't even have a handoff. Um, but yeah, I did my best to keep my hips on the bench. You can see that sometimes they do rise, but I don't know. It is what it is. The sets get harder and harder, of course. On the last set, I thought I was gonna fail, and so that's basically how hard it was. That means that 205 was more or less a perfect weight for me today, and I'm really happy that I was able to do it. You can see that when I get more tired, my elbows start to flare out of the hole. So when I get tired, like it's already evident before it happens. Yeah, that was only my third set, so here's my fourth one, and then can you imagine how hard that was? How hard it's gonna get? I think on this fourth set, I was focusing more on making sure that my elbows don't flare out too early. So like getting pressing off of my chest was a little bit easier. Um, but yeah, here's the last set. Here we go. Gotta get reset and go for the long rep. I legit thought I was gonna fail, and that would have been a sad story. My last rep on the last set, that would have been bad time. After that, I did some back extensions, just really light body weight, 3 sets of 15. So yeah, it's not often that I'm able to actually figure this. So I like to see what I look like once in a while. You can see that my hands, I try to touch my thumbs to the ground. So it's basically me reaching full range of motion. I could make it harder by putting my hands like kind of like in a pressing motion, like out over my shoulders. Um, Here I tried to keep my butt down, but it doesn't really happen. Apparently, I've been grabbing. There are two black bands that are very similar in size. This is the smaller one, but only very so smaller. Such a small amount smaller. Uh, I did some bent over rows. Last week, I want to say that my upper back was starting to hurt doing these, but yeah, it was fine. Then I did some box jumps. After all of this, I actually went straight to the chiropractor, and she kind of looked at my upper back and told me that I just need to figure out a good way to make sure that my posture's nice when I am sitting down for studying and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's it for today.